Jack Byron Clarke Jr. I'm the son of Jack and Elizabeth Clarke, and I'm proud to say that as their son, they taught me a great deal about being involved in the community, about making sure that you try and be a doer, that you try to be useful in life, that you don't just sit around and complain, that if you see something wrong, you try to either assemble people who can fix it or you try and fix it yourself. And in that regard, I've been blessed.
Did anyone serve as a role model or mentor for you?
Sure, I've had a lot of role models. My parents, as I just said, Jack Clarke Sr., he was the first African-American city councilman in the city of Riverside. My mother, Rose Elizabeth Clarke, she's from a small town named Tuskegee, Alabama, and she taught me things about African-American history that I've taken to heart. The idea that you're a doer, that you're active in your community, that you have a responsibility to others. Those are some of the lessons that certainly my parents gave me. And I've had many, many other role models, outstanding attorneys, people who are of tremendous stature in the community, people who took the time to share ideas with me, and most importantly, make me believe that I might be of some use. For me, the largest challenge I had to overcome was believing in myself. There are a lot of people, especially when you're young, who tell you what you're not doing, what you ain't going to do, what you can't do. And fortunately, as I said before, because of parents who really cared, because of people who saw something in me and would reach out and talk to me and encourage me, I finally think in my life I've gotten to a place where I think I'm okay.
Do you remember when you first wanted to do things that would help the people you have been helping?
There wasn't a particular point in time where I decided I wanted to help. I was brought up in an environment where being of assistance, I would call it being a doer, being useful, was expected. If you live in a community, you ought to try and help improve the community. Anybody can point out what's going wrong. Only a few people ever try to seem to fix what's wrong.
What have been one or two of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome?
As I said, the difficulties in life, many of them are simply not having enough self-confidence, not having enough belief in the idea that God has given us things that we should share. If you can get past essentially self-doubt, if you can get past and ignore people who tell you what you ain't, what you can't do, I think most of us can do a great deal to be of assistance.
Knowing what you know now, would you still want to be helping the community the way that you've done?
Knowing what I know now, I would actually try harder to be of assistance. I think we're in a time when there's a lot of strife, where there's a lot of division. And I think in real terms, a lot of us really need to stand up and do what we can to heal those divisions.
Would you do anything differently?
No, I wouldn't do anything differently. I've had a great marriage over 30 years. We have two wonderfully talented young people, two children who I believe are going to be of great benefit to our communities. And I've had the opportunity to work with really, really outstanding people throughout my career, and especially right now. In some ways, I'm having more fun now than I've ever had in my life, so I wouldn't do anything different.